to put some audio on this video. For some reason the screen recording didn't put any audio. If this doesn't work, I probably don't put any audio. For some reason my screen recording sometimes provides some artifacts, and those artifacts, I'm not sure what's going on, probably because I'm using too much CPU and all the stuff I'm doing. So what we can see here, I'm gonna work on the pictures folder. I'm gonna use it as a kind of like a debugging, so I can see things happening on the folder. Things should pop up and disappear and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have this as a working directory. Now, not everything can be represented in the file system, so I'm probably gonna send results of tools over Telegram so I can see live updates too. So I'm gonna put Telegram around the screen at some point. And as this test actually makes no sense, all the tools that I'm just testing random tools, is hard to kind of measure it. So let's see what happens. So I'm gonna provide the working directory to the agent, so I don't have to write where the things are going to happen all the time. So I started with individual tools, like create a folder with the name test, pretty basic. Create a file and then put text in it. The problem is that not all the tools can give you some sort of feedback like that, so there's a need to. If you see, we got some artifacts around line 3. I'm not sure how to fix that, but for some reason it didn't happen on the older videos. Now over there I'm deleting the monster truck folder so I can recreate it and download images and stuff like that. I was just to test the delete tool, so I can say I delete. I'm getting the name from the folder because it's clear I have so many typos on the name, so I gotta make sure I provide the name with the correct typos. Then if I'm going to do the online search, it's a tool, and then I'm going to download images from the internet, and then I'm gonna put them on the monster truck folder. So download the files and the online search are separate tools, so in that situation there are more tools than the numbers on the line count or task count. There I'm moving the images. As you can see, I'm trying to keep tasks separate or tools in a separate way, but it's a little bit hard to accomplish. Now telling if the folder doesn't exist, create it, because we clearly delete the folder on step 4. More artifacts, god damn it. So if this doesn't work, I'm not sure how I can share any more videos. So if this continue like this, I'll probably just record more videos. Oh, it went away. So on the 7, I get a random image from the monster truck folder, the one that we just created with the files, and then I'm going to split the image. So that's a little bit of some image manipulation, and then I'm gonna put the splitted files into another folder. Now in this situation I just told it to put it into a specific folder, but on the results you'll see that in my head I thought it was going to create a folder inside the monster truck folder, but it actually used the working directory because I never specified that the folder should be inside the monster truck folder. So I think it was my mistake of understanding what was going on, but other than that, it was my fault, not the code or the agent. Now the artifacts are pretty bad right now, so there is a likeliness that I will cancel this video. It's strange because the other one worked fine. Oh, I think I can read now. Yeah, split the images, and then we're gonna put it into Okay, yeah. On well, we're gonna do splits and then put into a folder called splits. On the step 8, we're gonna get the first image on the monster truck folder, and then we're gonna describe it and save the description into a file called image description.markdown. Um, this is kind of like my way to see the text of what was there. Um, Yeah, I just wanted to test a little bit of multimodal in between because the multimodal tools actually load a second model, so that's the idea to see how much we can push it. And because I'm gonna take a lot of resources with this. Then I switch to Docker, and then I'm listing the volumes and sending them over Telegram. Just switching to Docker and that is actually two tools. Get the volumes and send them over Telegram is another tool, so it's more than what I'm actually seeing. These artifacts are pretty bad. So on the 10, I'm gonna get the expenses of last month. I have tools to review everything that I do with my money, so I can talk and have a real-time validation, and I can actually get plots and stuff like that from the way I handle my finances. So I'm going to tell it to pick up the expenses and then send them over Telegram. On 11, I'm going to perform an image binary search of the picture which I pick up, which is a Kia car, and then I'm going to find the license plate, and then I'm going to get the license plate and I'm going to send it over Telegram. If you saw on the picture when it popped up, it was, I think, Koos, something like that, Koos. Then I'm gonna get into Firefox, and I'm gonna get the top 5 visited sites, and then I'm gonna send the list over Telegram. I think Telegram is the easiest way to have like a debugging console to see what's going on. Then I'm gonna count how many R's in Strawberry. So that's I actually create a tool to count letters just for fun because I'm getting out of ideas with tools now that I can add as many as I want. And we're almost done. We're gonna do a search online for GPT 5.2. We're gonna limit the search to 3 results, and then we're gonna get a summary of each URL, and then send the summary over Telegram. And the last one, there's a lot of artifacts. Well, I think it's visible. And the last one, I'm gonna switch completely and get into databases, and then I'm gonna do some text to SQL and get all the databases from the Postgres database, and then I'm gonna write those into a file called psql underscore dbs.txt. The artifacts are pretty bad. I think when I hit enter with all the tools, everything is going to work. Or the artifacts, I think they go away when I refresh the screen. So those are the 15 steps, which is probably like 20 tools, something like that. I didn't count. And let's see what happens. I'm gonna bring Telegram over the screen so we can see real-time updates on the folders and on Telegram itself. It's already done with the thinking and the tools. It should be building the correct code to execute all of that nonsense. We can see the image of monster trucks getting populated on the folder for pictures. Now we can see the test folder has a sample.txt as specified on the step number 3, I think. We can see the expense reports, we can see the license plate, the top visited sites, it seems those fail. Okay, look at the Docker volumes, which was definitely one of the requests. You see, we create the folder test, we got the sample.txt. If we open the file, we should see a poem. there you have it. Then moving the file to the folder is exactly what we wanted. Then the online search for monster trucks and the top 5 images on the monster truck folder, they are there, so it worked. Now there are no 5 images because sometimes the links does not allow to download the image, or the link is broken. I think that happened a few times, so it's more about the target website where we're downloading the images, and as it's an online search, we don't know. Now we gotta get the random image, and we gotta split it, which got into a split folder, and we can clearly see the image got split horizontally just like I specify, which is great. That was specify on step 8. No, step 7. Now on step 8, we describe the first image and put it into the image description.md, and we can see it's capture a thrilling moment or a monster truck show. The image features a great monster truck performing an impressive aerial, and we saw that when I opened the images. There you go. That's the grave digger, and we can see it got pretty much everything pretty well. So the multimodal functionality working between all the inferences perfectly, no problems. Now we're gonna get the list of volumes of Docker that were sent over Telegram, and we have those there, which is great. Now we can see the expense report. They're not formatted properly. I'm not sure the amount is right. I'll probably need to check that tool and see if there's some problems there. Anyways, we can see that on the step 11 we managed to pull the license plate Coons, and we actually managed to pull. I'm still checking why the value is so high with the expense reports. It's probably the yearly expense or something like that, and not the one. So the other one is the license plate, and we can see that clearly picked it up. And I got a little bit surprised because it actually picked up the small text. Not impossible, but it wasn't expected to work and pick up a small text. So here you can see that's the license plate, and the small text is barely visible. Well, it's not that small, but I was expecting to not even look at that. Anyways, I get the top 5 visited site from Firefox, and that failed. It tried to find a tool, but it shouldn't be like that. There is a tool to list all the sites, and then you should just add extra code to do the math to get which one is the one with the most visits, but it didn't do it. I have done that in the past, so I have never added those steps into the tool, but in this situation it did not work. But it's okay, it didn't break the execution, so the code was smart enough to have try catches and stuff like that. Now, well, I don't know, I'm not sure if there was an error or it was handled properly. Now on the 13 we got the strawberry. We're gonna count how many R's. I create a tool just to have those. I'm running out of ideas with tools, so I'm just putting any stupid thing that comes to my mind. And then I do an online search for GPT 2.5.2, which just released, and that one failed. For some reason it got confused on that one. And then the last one is list all databases from the Postgres and write them into a PSQL DBs.txt. And the file should be there. Yes, the last file. And there you go, all the databases in the Postgres database. So it had some hiccups, very small. It managed to handle those, just the online search. For some reason he couldn't do it, but all these exercise was very random, like nothing makes sense, and it's not like nothing works with each other, it's just random testing. But it was pretty good, and it didn't take that long. I even combined multimodal, and I have since I started with multimodal, I jump into all the stuff for the diffusion models and see how can I move that into here so I can have everything running locally. Now the interesting part here is that all of this is running locally with a 3090 consumer hardware grade, and it works just fine. So this is a good win for my project. So I guess that's it. And I'm not sure what I'm doing over there, but I guess I completed the task. I'll probably try something bigger, but I'm gonna focus a little bit on the tools to make sure they all work perfectly fine. I add them really fast, so I didn't check on all the right things at the right time. But I'm impressed. I have seen situations where the LLM can get its own tools and they will emerge out of nowhere, and that's something I will check probably in another video. Bye.